Good morning, everyone. It's Francis, 7:51 a.m. outside of Houston, Texas, on Friday, December 2nd. I'm coming to you this morning to let you know that tonight's episode of Collision Course will have some of the best discussions of the year. Why are they going to be the best discussions? One, because we're going to have people on the show we've never had before. That always makes for a great discussion. Who are you going to have on the show, Francis? Well, I have made an agreement with YouTuber Suspicious Observers to come on and do a 3-minute update. After that, we're going to have John Zaskoda come on, who is the host of a new radio show called Stranger Advice on American Freedom Radio, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This afternoon at 2:44 p.m. East Coast time, I'll be introducing myself on Stranger Advice as the new astronomical advisor to John and the listeners there of Stranger Advice. Feel free to stop by this afternoon. Again, I'll be coming on to do my introduction at 2:44 p.m. East Coast time on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. But tonight's show, and John will be there. You'll get to be introduced to John tonight on Collision Course, because tonight's Collision Course is going to be big. I'm going to come on with my guests, including Suspicious Observers and John Zaskoda. I'm going to give you my astronomical update, and then I'm going to get an opportunity to talk to LUCUS911 about the documentary movies 188 Days. I hope that Nighthawk is ready to run the show long if needed. I believe he is. I think I remember him saying last night that I could run the show as long as I wanted, ask as many questions as I wanted, and in the end we'll get some conversations from the listeners and the chatters as well. I've never interviewed Lucas before. This is going to be the first time. Today I'm going to go and reconfirm what I already know about the documentary movies that he's made, and I already have a number of great questions to ask him. If you didn't know, his newest documentary, one of his new ones, is 188 Days, which seems to support, using the same information, the theories of the heavy mass object, the researchers of the heavy mass object, people like Alexander Retrov, people like Torello 3, and his group of researchers who are trying to unlock the mysteries of what's going on, because they're looking at Earth changes. They call them changes, Earth events, and correlating them together statistically and trying to uncover what causes these events. Now, I don't know the details of LUCUS911's research, and I hope to learn where he's coming from, because at this point I feel like I've interacted and been keeping myself a part of the discussion with those who feel there are Earth changes and those who feel there is something causing the Earth changes. I've been involved with the discussion on different levels, and so I feel by having the information from Lucus 911, it's just going to add to the library of information I have now. And it's just, I feel that if I'm going to have a great grasp on what they're thinking, so that there is possibly no way I will not be informed of the event, future events, timeline events, and be able to quickly correlate their suggestions. I really don't feel that I'm going to try to debunk anything. Again, my goal is not to debunk. If you heard it in the last statement, I'm trying to learn, or at least putting myself in a position to have a conversation with my peers and others about circumstances out in space astronomically, so that with the tools I have at my disposal, I could bring actual images of events to the listeners, to YouTube, to wherever I publish, Facebook. For anyone who's listening out there, if you were not connected on Facebook, I highly recommend it. If you want to know the inside scoop of what's going on with Collision Course and me, Facebook is the place to be. I've met so many, made so many great new friends and connections to further the research that I am doing. That, you know, sure, there are reports of whatever's going on. I personally, I run the gamut with a sort of naivete, and I'll admit that. And somehow that shields me from worrying about people who maybe using this information or that information while I'm on Facebook. I don't much care. I do have some privacy settings on Facebook, but I get so much benefit from the people I meet and interact with regularly on Facebook. I would suggest that if you're not there already, you do connect with me on Facebook. My name is Francis Walsh, and the Facebook page is facebook.com/Fuzzy Was Here, FUZZYWASHERE, and in that way, in the future, you can get an update from me or know what's going on, because a lot of times I'm posting links and liking links and interacting. It's not like I do a broadcast that covers everywhere all the time. There's some insider information, then there's the public shows which run on a schedule, and then the other information that gets out through my likes and favorites of videos and articles that I read and watch. So, if I've taken you away from the main point of this video, the main point of the video is tonight's going to be a great show on Collision Course. Collision Course is hosted on freedomslips.com. Collision Course starts at 8 p.m. on the East Coast and runs until 10 p.m. That is 8 p.m. in New York until 10 p.m. in New York. Collision Course on freedomslips.com. Join us. You'll get to hear LUCUS911. You'll get to hear me. Can't wait to have you there.